Hey gang, Katrina from Different Drummer Dance here. Happy New Year. I know we are all so glad to be leaving 2020 behind and moving forward, hopefully into a brighter and lighter new year in 2021. So this is the time of year when undoubtedly you are seeing detox that and diet this, whether it's on your social media feeds or in magazines or blogs or podcasts. So this is just inevitably the time of year when you're being told to get your body back. And especially right now with the whole lose the quarantine 15, all of that type of talk, even if you're a professional dancer or you're in training, I'm sure that you are hearing these messages. And alongside these messages of diets and eating habits and body shape and food, you're likely going to be hearing messages about how loving yourself or self-love and self-care is key and vital to having a great year here in 2021. And while I don't disagree that loving yourself and self-love and self-care are important, they're not the key to you having the best year ever or being your best self or getting that audition or role or that dance job that you've been dreaming about. And I want to debunk that myth here. I want to debunk the myth that in order to be happy or healthy as a dancer, you have to love yourself. And here's why. Respecting yourself and having self-respect is far more important to your health and happiness than loving yourself is. Because especially as a dancer, there's gonna be days where you don't feel good, you're tired or you're injured or you're working through an injury. And during those seasons of our lives, it can feel really, really hard to love your body or yourself. And then we pressure ourselves to just love ourselves. And then we feel bad because we feel like we're failing because we just can't muster that self-love. So no matter what season of life you're in, it is possible to respect yourself, to turn away from that kind of pressure of loving yourself and instead work towards respecting ourselves and our bodies. Because on the days when loving ourselves feels really hard and really impossible, we can at least respect ourselves. We may not be able to look in the mirror and think, oh, I love you, you are fabulous, you're such a badass, you're so talented. You might not be able to do that every day. But on most days, you will be able to look in the mirror and say, I respect you. You're doing the best you can. You're showing up, and I appreciate you and I respect you for that. Trying to love yourself or your body before you respect yourself or your body is a little bit like putting the cart before the horse. Respect should really be the foundation and our default, and then we build the love on top of that. So when we get knocked down, and you're going to get knocked down, we all know this, we still have that foundation of respect, appreciation, and gratitude for ourselves and our bodies. Now, you might be thinking, okay, well, that makes sense, but how do I actually work on respecting myself? And my response to that is just like you would anything else. It's a practice, it's a habit that you build and you work on every single day. But my number one tip is to start noticing the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you speak about yourself. Most of us have a little inner voice, right? That's usually a bit of a bully that talks down to us when we don't get the double pirouette or we don't land that jump the right way. And I'm gonna bet that your inner voice isn't very respectful. So the first step is to just notice when your inner voice isn't being respectful. No need to beat yourself up for beating yourself up, right? So if you catch yourself saying not so nice things, don't then beat yourself up for not saying nice things. Just notice it. Don't judge it. Observe it with a, that wasn't very kind or respectful thing to say to myself, and then move on. And eventually you'll be able to work to separate yourself from that inner voice, because that disrespectful inner voice isn't you. That's an inner frenemy, an inner critic, and it's your ego all wrapped up together. And noticing when that voice gets activated is the first step towards changing that inner dialogue to a more respectful one. And if you want to take it a step further, get a notebook and jot down when you notice those disrespectful respectful thoughts popping up? What was happening at the time? What were you doing? And can you reframe it? Can you change the language to be a little bit more respectful, a little bit more kind? And you can even do this on your phone or in your voice memos if you don't have a notebook handy or if you're not a writing person. So the next time someone tells you to just love yourself, I want you to stop and think about this advice that I've shared here with you today. And the next time that you start hating on yourself when you look in the mirror or when you're at class, I want you to turn not to love, but to respect. Because leading your best, your happiest, and your healthiest life in this new year is an inside job. It starts with digging in deep for that respect. So simmer on it, give it a try, let me know how it goes. Good luck, and I hope you have a great start to your new year.